This week, we will be exploring arithmetic sequence. Now, what is arithmetic sequence? The definition states that the difference between one term and the next is a constant. Now, the word constant here means that it stays the same. Here we have a sequence. The first term is 2, second term is 5, third term is 8, and so on. Now I want you to pause the video a little bit and think about what is happening in this sequence. Now hopefully you notice that the difference between the one term to the next is always 3. The difference between 2 and 5, obviously, is 3. You add 3 to get to the next term. The difference between 5 and 8 is, again, 3. 8 and 11, it's 3. So you can see that the difference between one term to the next is always a constant or the same number. In this case, it's 3. Now let's explore a little bit further here. Here we have a sequence having the first term being 2. Now the second term is 5. Now how do you get 5? Well, you get 5 by adding 3 to the first term. So you have 2 plus 3 is 5. Now let's keep going here. How about the third term? Now third term is 8. Now you can think of this 8 as first having the first term, which is 2, and then you add 3. That will get you to the second term, which is 5. And then you add another 3 to get to the third term, which is 8. Let's try one more time. 11. How do you get 11? Well, again, you have a first term, which is 2. And then you have 3. You add 3. That's a third term. And then you add another 3. You get the fourth term, which is 11. Now I'm hoping that you are starting to see the pattern here. Now let's jump to 15th term. So to figure out what 15th term is going to be, we have to start from the first term, which is 2. But then the big question is, how many 3's we have to add to get to the 15th term? So I want you to pause the video a little bit and think about the pattern here. Now I'm hoping that you are seeing that when we talked about second term, we just needed 1 3. When we talked about third term, we just needed 2 3's. For the fourth term, 3 3's. So for the 15th term, I'm hoping that you're seeing that we need 14 3's. So to figure out 15th term, it is 2 plus how many 3's? You need 14 3's. Now 3 times 14 is going to be 42. So 2 plus 42, the answer is 44. So do you feel like you can figure out any term of the sequence now? So let's generalize the rule here for this particular sequence. To find out nth term of the sequence, First, you need the first term, which is 2. And then you need a bunch of 3's. How many 3's you need? Well, for nth term, you need n minus 1 number of 3's. So here you just came up with the equation that will describe nth term of the sequence. With this equation, you can figure out any term of the sequence. For example, if I ask you to find 20th term of the sequence, then you write u sub 20 equals 2 plus 3 times n is 20, so 20 minus 1, which is 19. So you've got 2 plus 3 times 19. Now, 19 times 3 is, what is it, 57? Okay, so it is 2 plus 57. So 3 times 19 is 57, which is 59. So you just figured it out that 20th term is going to be 59. So in order for you to figure out the formula for any arithmetic sequence, basically you need two things. You need first term and the common difference. As long as you identify those two numbers, you have the formula. So let's take a look at the example, another example right here. The first step is that we need to make sure that this is arithmetic sequence. Now, the difference between 7 and 13, what is that? That would be 6, isn't it? How about the difference between 13 and 19? It's 6 again. How about the difference between 19 and 25? It's 6. So we know for sure that this is arithmetic sequence. Next, let's identify those two critical numbers. What is u1, the first term? Obviously, it's going to be 7. So you can write u1 is 7. How about d, the common difference? The d in this case it's a 6. It's plus 6. It's plus 6, plus 6, plus 6 sequence. So d is 6. So the first question will be, find the formula, letter A. So what is that? Can you write the equation or formula? It will be un equals, here is the formula that we need to apply. It's going to be u1, which is 7, plus d, which is 6, parentheses, n minus 1. That's it. That's for the answer for letter A. We found the formula. Next, we need to find 45th term. Now, how do you do that? Well, we just need to apply the formula that we just found. So we have u45 is going to be equal to 7 plus 6, 45 minus 1. So we just need to do the math. So let's simplify that. It's going to be 7 plus 6, parentheses, 45 minus 1, which is 44. let's do 44 times 6, which is 264. So 7 plus 264 is going to be 271. So the 45th term of the sequence is going to be 271. So let's answer the last question, C. Is 439 a term of the sequence? Now, to answer this question, we have to understand what the question is asking us. Now, this question is asking us that here we have a sequence 7, 13, 19, and it keeps going. And if we keep going, the question is, will it ever hit 439 as a part of a sequence? Okay, so that's the question. Now, to answer this question, we're just going to use the formula that we figured it out from section, the letter A, part A. And the formula says it's 7 plus 6. Now, instead of filling n, because we don't know what term it is for 439, we're just going to leave n in the formula. But we're going to set this equation, formula equal to 439. And then we're going to solve for n. Now let's solve for n here by distributing 6 first. So we have 7 plus 6n minus 6 equals 439. Now what do we do next? Now 7 and 6 are on the same side of the equation, so let's simplify that. So we have 7 minus 6, that's going to be positive 1, equals 439. What do we do next? Subtract 1. We have 6n equals 438. And what's the last step? Divide by 6. Divide by 6. Take out your calculator. 438 divided by 6. What is it? It is 73. Now we're not quite done yet. Now what did we find out? Now we just found out that n, 73rd term of the sequence, is going to be 439. So that means the answer for C is going to be yes. 439 is a 73rd term of the sequence. Now, when do we say no to this type of question? Well, we have to say no to this question, this type of a question, if we get n equals some kind of a decimal number. For example, if we get n equals, let's say, 20.5, then we have to say no because there is no decimal term. The term is always a whole positive number. First term, second term, third term. There is no 20-point fifth term of a sequence. So if you get n equals decimal number, you have to say no to this question. This concludes the video for week 1 arithmetic sequence. If you have any questions, please reach out to your teacher. Good luck!